Hey, all right, that's a shitty intro. Okay, good. We're just gonna go with that. So, I figured this was as good a time as any to shoot a video update. Just finished, I didn't do this by the way, Steve just left. He finished editing the next episode that we're going to be putting out. And if you guys are curious why stuff is taking so long to come out after the editing process, I don't know if you could see that or not, but it's got 16 hours left to render as it's going through and trying to make sense of what the hell we're doing here. And so this is going to be going for another 16 hours. Once this is ready, then it comes time for him and I to go through and actually watch it and then try to figure out, is it good or not? Put in an intro, put in an outro, and then we're going to be putting up. So we should have 3 episodes coming out pretty damn soon. Beginning of July is when they should start posting. But I figured, you know, I do so much like that I don't share with you guys that I would put an update video out there as we're waiting for this to actually render. So before I head to bed tonight, that is the topic of this video. So why have I not been posting? Why have I been gone for a while? Well, basically, I realized that I needed to focus 100% on the health, and I have been going hook, line, and sinker into the stocks. So if you take a look around the room, you see all these boards up, right? There is 4 of them. I'm pointing out the window. One here, here, and here. And they all have to do with the stock market and about, you know, the plans for the channel and about what we're looking to build and do. The whole thing with the stock market and why I've been going so deep into it. So you guys know that this channel has a whole bunch of different reasons for existing, right? So we have the studio now that has been built, and that's just to have cool conversations and, you know, look at different ideals and perspectives of different people and kind of just make this into something a little bit more legitimate, right, with the studio. So we have that side. Then we have just random thoughts that I have and such that I'll post from time to time. But also, as you know, I'm leaving these breadcrumbs of how I'm becoming successful. So I don't think that I talk enough about what specifically I'm doing to become successful. So what I've been doing is I actually resigned from my previous position. I had a phenomenal job. The company was great. I really enjoyed working there and working with the people, but for my health, getting myself back to where I need to be and, you know, dealing with all of the issues and such of which I had go on, from the anxiety to the sleep problems and all the other health issues, I realized that I was never going to be able to do that. So on this success journey of mine, I stepped back from actually still working there and resigned. I did join another company that is very similar, except there's no quota. So if you guys have been following this channel, you know that I work in sales, and that is obviously a very helpful job to have in terms of, you know, being able to accumulate funds to then go and invest with. Now, with the accumulation of funds and what I've been trying to do with it, I have different success partners in different areas, one of which is in the stock market. So for the stock market, I had actually purchased a course through Legacy Education, which is through Rich Dad, Poor Dad. They're kind of affiliated with them, and it's a huge stock trading course, right? So purchased that. Me and my buddy, who's one of my success partners, like I said, we've gone through the course, and it was coming down to the wire to finish going through it because the final portion is going to meet with a mentor and learning to seriously apply what it is that we've learned. So I'm going to be flying out to Cali probably at the end of, mid-July. I'm going to be flying out to Cali. While down there, Steve is probably going to be staying here to continue to get the editing done. We might shoot another episode or 2, so he's got something to work on while I'm down there. But we're going to be flying out to Cali and sitting down with a mentor in the stock market to be trained on how to put into play everything that we've actually learned and everything that we've been studying for the past year. So for those of you who are relatively new, I am trying to become successful, trying to become a millionaire by, it's so weird that I chose this date, but April Fool's of the year 2020. And a lot of the content on this channel is kind of showing where I came from, how I literally didn't have anything. I mean, if you back up about 2 years, I think I was driving a truck without insurance, and I pulled over the side of the road, and it was like smoking from the engine compartment, and it was super overheating, and I'm sitting on the side of the road. I had absolutely no money to my name, like $40 or something, right? And I'm sitting there on the side of the road just feeling like an absolute joke while I'm waiting for a cop to pull up and just basically like give me a ticket or arrest me for driving an unregistered, no insurance vehicle or whatever, and just sitting there and like feeling like an absolute joke due to the fact of like where my goals lie and what it is that I want to do. So for me, I don't want to just like make my life good, right? Like I make this channel to encourage you guys and obviously share my thoughts and stories with the world, because I think, you know, some of the stuff I do is kind of cool. But I do it to also encourage others out there, to show that like I may not have an absolute rags to riches story, but have I been homeless before? Yeah, for a short period of time, you know, living out of a car. So I wasn't quite rags, but I have a story, right? And so many people think that people are born into money or born into being successful or come from some form of lucky background. So I share that on this channel, but I don't actually share exactly what I'm doing. So here's what I'm doing. I decided to go hook, line, and sinker into a sales position. And I tried to blow it out of the water as much as I possibly could, make as much money as possible, and accumulate the funds to then invest. Now, I'm driving the same truck that I was before. I did buy a motorcycle. I did do that. So I have a motorcycle now, 3 of them. But for the most part, most of the stuff that I have has been accumulated slowly over time. I'm not going crazy on spending sprees. So most of my money is actually just locked away, waiting to be invested properly. In doing so, I took a decent amount of the money. I think it came to around like $13,000 around that. And I bought this course from Legacy Education on stock market investing. Me and my success partner split it. I think it came to, like I said, it was like 13 and 13, so about like $26,000, somewhere around that. And we've been going through this course, and we've been learning how to take our money and invest it. Specifically, there's really 4 markets. There's the stock market, which everybody thinks of, where you buy low, sell high, or you short, so you sell first and then you buy later. That's the one that everybody thinks of when they think of, like, you know, trading, right? But there's stocks, then there's options, which you could look at options as if it's almost like side betting on stocks. You can trade on things called like theta, which just means that you're trading on time decay. It's just a different way of trading. Think of it, again, just like side betting. So there's stocks, options, futures, like commodities and such, and then the Forex market, which is the currency exchange. The one that we're focusing on right now is options, okay? So that's where you see, well, actually, that's more delta trading over here. Well, you can't see it, whatever. Anyways, that one is the one that we use to like go over options stuff. So been doing that. Been hoarding my money as much as possible, but I've had a lot of health concerns to overcome and be able to get by. So resigning from the position, focusing on getting my health right has been very important. Ended up actually going to a hypnotist who has helped immensely. It has been like a night and day transformation going to this hypnotist. He has been able to like move my consciousness to the side and speak directly to my subconscious and help me immensely with the PTSD, immensely with the anxiety issues and the emotional damages from the trauma from like my 20s or teenage years or whatever. So that has been a huge focus. A lot of the reason that I don't post very often on the channel is because literally I have to hustle outside of here, outside of this screen, and get the things done that are necessary to actually move forward. I have no clue how people are able to post every single day, 10 times a day on Instagram and their Facebooks, and put up a video every few days. Like, bitch, I got shit to do. So I have no idea how they are able to keep that up. So a lot of me building this currently is taking time away from the channel. However, I've hired Steve, Scuba Steve, we'll call him, to do the editing on the studio shows. We're probably going to be buying video cameras for the show soon, and by me hiring him to do this and start to post on social media and get everything going for me, it allows me to focus on what I'm good at, which is making money in sales, right? So so I've been doing that. I have been, I'm trying to think of the other steps that I'm taking. I mean, I'm huge on self-development. I'm always reaching out to people. I'm always networking. I'm always getting new things going. The new company that I am at currently, it's basically a startup company, but it's a very good fitting opportunity for my goals, right? I have no quota whatsoever. I can come and go as I please, and the commissions are quite handsome, right? So that's helpful. So basically the plan currently on how I'm trying to get to that number, becoming a millionaire by April 1st, 2020, is by amassing as much funds as possible, educating myself to learn to invest the best that I can, and putting all this into practice while networking with the people who are already successful to open up doors for me to be able to move into the areas of which I would like to, right? Flying out to Cali, like I said, mid-July, to go out there, meet with a guy who's going to show us exactly how to put all this into practice that we've been learning, basically start to make returns of 5% or more a month, which is going to help to start to steamroll and compound the interest of the money that I'm currently making out in the sales area. Meanwhile, building the Inside the Mind channel, which is the one that you're watching this on, as well as the One Life Productions channel, which is the other channel, which is just basically has to do with, currently it's heavily focused on motorcycle stunting and trying to just show people just to like live your life to the fullest, regardless if you agree with what me and my boys do or not. It's about living your life to the fullest. It's about realizing that, you're gonna die, right? You're gonna die one day. The whole concept behind one life is that if indeed you only have one life, why the fuck are you spending it watching other people live theirs? Like watching whatever it is, TV or shit. So basically wasting it away when you should be applying yourself towards the things of which you actually care about. You know what I mean? So that's what that channel's about. If you want to find that, just type Josh Kekak into YouTube and go to the One Life channel. It'll probably pop up like right away. But that's all the motorcycle stunting stuff. So we have that. Beyond that, we're working on a website. The website's probably not actually going to launch anytime soon, but working on the website to combine both the channels. As I said, I've hired Steve for the social media management and such, and meanwhile, just going to keep going with trying to make the money outside of here while still having fun and living life, right? So, I'm trying to show that this is possible. The whole concept behind this channel, of course, is just showing my journey, I guess, through life and sharing ideas. And on the show, there's some really interesting people. This episode, by the way, I'm pretty stoked about. It's a lot of like the crazier stories from some of my wilder days. We'll put it like that. So that should be coming out, like I said, early July. Beyond that, I mean, things are coming together for me. It's slowly but surely. I think a lot of times in my life, I've been hoping that success was going to look like this. And it doesn't look anything like that. In fact, it like kind of comes up and then gets all fucked up and bounces around, and then you kind of realize you're up here, you're like, oh cool, and then the bottom drops out again. And the road to success is really just paved on a ton of failures. That's really what it's paved on. But you have to have the mentality of, if I don't win, I learn. You know, there's no losing. You can't lose. Like, anytime you lose, supposedly, or anytime you have an upset or something that like beats you down, or you feel like, oh, there's my boy Rich in the background, right over here. Oh my God, this is terrible. Right here, Rich Piana. He's I hang that poster outside of my bedroom, because you have to have a very like, get out there and do whatever the fuck it takes to reach your fucking goals. That's the quote on the poster. I'll show it to you guys sometime. But, you know, basically, you don't lose. You can't lose. You learn. And then you come back and you win. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I were to have the mentality of poor me, or looking at the shortcomings I've had, or the defeats and the failures and all that, and identifying with them and bringing them into me and saying, oh, this is who I am, I would never get anywhere in life. I would never be able to get into the mentality of which I have to have or develop to get myself to the levels of which I want to get to. So Steve just headed out for the night, and I just got off the phone with one of my mentors, the one who's in Cali, and we had a phenomenal conversation just about mindset and about what it takes to achieve what you want, and about how different, you know, the 1% of the world thinks, as opposed to the rest of us, you know, the masses. So anyways, that's basically an update as to what I'm working on. And I would say that one of the main things that has helped me to really get on track, because I've had to back away from doing a lot of things, is the hypnotherapist. So the concept, just to share this with you guys, if you've never checked it out, the concept of going to a hypnotherapist is this. If I tell you that your skin is purple, you're probably going to tell me, no, it's not. And I go, no, it's purple. No, it's not. Well, if I hold up a mirror and I show you that your skin is purple, you're going to go, what? Wait a second. Because you see it, right? And then you go in the bathroom and you look in the mirror there, and maybe your skin's purple. And eventually you look in enough mirrors, you get enough positive reinforcement. You get enough reinforcement into believing that your skin is actually purple. What would be what you're saying at that point? You'll say, hey, I used to be white, I used to be black, I used to be whatever, but now I'm purple, right? That would be your new belief system. So throughout our lives, we have neural netting, I don't know. We have neuron pathways and such in our brain that get reinforced as our thoughts become things. So the thoughts that we have within our brain actually, I'm losing words, it's like late at night. The thoughts we have within our brain reinforce the neuron connections and the synapse and everything that we've got going on there. It reinforces it, and it makes like stronger and stronger connections. And there's all this stuff with neuropeptides and such, but just imagine that you are tying a tether together, right? I'm going to tie this back to the purple skin. You're tying a tether together stronger and stronger and stronger by reinforcing the thoughts that you have. If you look at your thoughts, typically, a lot of times for most people, it's very negative. We talk very negatively to ourselves. We would not be friends with ourselves if indeed somebody who we were friends with spoke to us the way that we talk to ourselves. But we reinforce these pathways, right? We tighten these tethers and we reinforce them and reinforce them. That's how we get stuck in mindsets, right? Because our subconscious acts very much like a personal computer. So the reason if I told you that you were purple, that you would tell me that you're not, is because your conscious mind is programmed to go, no, I'm not purple, I'm this color. Well, what a hypnotherapist does, if indeed you can be hypnotized, is just like the bouncer at a club, the consciousness steps aside, and what the consciousness does is, since it's now preoccupied or it's asleep, the subconscious, which is extremely open to suggestion, the hypnotherapist then comes in and talks to your subconscious. So, for example, maybe I don't even know what he says half the time. I just know that I feel a hell of a lot better. Maybe he's saying like, Josh, you don't have anxiety. Now, see if I was awake, or Josh, you don't have PTSD, or, you know, the situations you were in are no longer here. You know, you're not standing there, you know, with your girlfriend crushed in the car. You know, you're not standing there in some of the bad environments that you've been in, you know, whatever. By him saying these suggestions to the subconscious mind just goes, oh, okay. Because the subconscious mind doesn't know any better. It's highly suggestible. The conscious mind, which has stepped aside, is the one that differentiates whether or not something that it's being suggested to is fact or falsivity. And by removing the consciousness, it's like removing the bouncer at the club. Even when the consciousness comes back, the bouncer comes back, all those thoughts and such, they're inside the club. They're already inside. So the term is neuroplasticity, basically being able to being able to change the physical structure of the brain itself through thought is taking place when you go to a hypnotherapist. So with that said, I'm sharing that with you guys as an update to the whole, you know, success path, because it's like, yeah, I started making money, that's great, but I had all this baggage, all this shit that needed to be taken care of, all this stuff that was holding me back in life and stopping me from getting to where I needed to be. By going to the hypnotherapist and by, you know, going and doing the work within that's necessary, it has gotten me, you know, even going for walks in the woods and just focusing on the things that are truly important in life, friends, family, community, meditation, you know, exploring the nature around me and trying to get more into the now, into the mindset of appreciation. I'm sharing this all with you guys because the path to success is not just about money. The path to success is a balance in all areas of life. And one of the areas that I was severely unbalanced in was totally forgot. Nice. This is just like the intro. I was just really unbalanced in the health area, you know, the mental health, the physical health, the inner balance, right? So I've needed to get that under control, and I found that it was really difficult to do while trying to make videos or edit videos or do everything, because it's just, there's so much, right? There's so many facets to what I'm trying to do, between getting the health right and reconnecting with people, learning investing and then investing, doing the videos, building the studio, understanding SEO, I forgot what that stands for, SEO, search engine optimization, you know, going in all these areas all at once. Like, it was way too much, and to share it all that was going on at the same time. So this video should serve as an update, and I just wanted to share this with you, because do the work, you know, don't sweep things under the rug. Don't sit there and just try to, you know, pretend that things don't exist for too long, right? You know, go into that mode if you're in true survival mode. But if you don't have to be, I mean, do the work, get the stuff handled that you need to, grow, do your self-development, understand who you are as a person, who you want to become, and what it takes to get there, and do the work to ensure that you get there in a healthy way, right? You know, I was in fight or flight mode, survival mode for way too long, and it ended up causing me to go into a very unbalanced way of living, and I don't really recommend that for anybody unless it's truly survival. But the hypnotherapist has seriously helped me to jump out of that, and I highly encourage you to check out one. They're probably not all built the same. If you find a crappy one, go find another one. You know what I mean? So anyways, hopefully this video serves as an update. 3 episodes should be coming out in July, if if I'm able to keep up with the deadlines with that. But now I got Steve working on this, so you know, things should come out much more consistently. And yeah, if you guys like this video, you know, leave a like, leave a comment. Appreciate all the feedback. There should be a lot coming out, and I will keep updating you from time to time with what I'm actually doing behind the scenes. And obviously I'll continue to share videos with you guys and hopefully encourage you, give you ideas about, you know, things that you can do and such. And these shows should be coming out. So yeah, like this video. Love you. Peace.